Hi, I'm Julia Brown, Doña County Manager. We had a pretty busy day yesterday at the Board of County Commissioners meeting, which actually ran all day. There were several items of interest on the agenda. Well, of course, all of the items were of interest to someone, but I wanted to just highlight 5 of the items. First, they approved a proclamation declaring April Financial Literacy Month. That and Money Smart, a program of the FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, are programs that they have been operating across the country for many years. 2 years ago, I noticed that they were not doing it in New Mexico. They were doing it in the other 49 states, but had never done it here. So I talked to them about why they weren't doing it here, and they said, well, nobody in New Mexico has invited us to do it. So I said, consider yourself invited. So for the last 2 years now, we've been observing Financial Literacy Month in April and Money Smart Week. Money Smart Week is going to take place the 23rd through the 30th of April. Now, both of those topics combined are very important because across the county in a bunch of different locations during Money Smart Week, there are going to be all kinds of seminars and workshops completely free of charge where you can go to get information about credit cards, about services that banks provide, about how to plan for retirement, about how to save more of the money that you take home from your job, budgeting information, all kinds of money, all kinds of information. Wish we had some money to give away. All kinds of information about how to make your money work smarter for you. To get information about what time and the location and the topics that are being offered, go to the Money Smart website. You can contact the county's public information officer, Jess Williams. You can contact the county's social media coordinator, Corey Stone Fielder. Look on our Facebook page, look on our website to get information about those. I'm sure that once you take a look at them, you will see some topic that is of interest to you. And we hope to see you during Money Smart Week. Also in April, Earth Week is coming up, the 17th through the 21st. Now, you probably have heard of Earth Day, but there's actually a whole week also full of all kinds of events and activities to help us be better at protecting the environment and our neighborhoods and communities where we live. Sometimes when people think about environmental issues, they think about big, expensive, global kinds of efforts. But each of us can do just one little thing that helps contribute to a healthy environment for all of us. The Commission also approved the award of 2 RFPs, requests for proposal. In the government, we've got acronyms for all kinds of things, for medical and prescription as well as vision insurance. Now that is important to county employees or people who are thinking about becoming county employees because it has an impact on the health care benefits for county employees. This was part of a recommendation that staff made to the Commission for us to go from contracting with a insurance provider, for example, Blue Cross and Blue Shield, to being a self-insured government entity so that we pay someone to take care of the billing and the claims and premium payment information. But we concluded that that was thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars cheaper if we became self-insured rather than contracting and paying a big chunk of money to an entity like Blue Cross and Blue Shield. There'll be some changes as a result of that. Probably the most noticeable change is that the list of providers that are available under our current plan may not translate to that same list of providers once we contract with the administrator who is going to be administering our self-insured plan. It looks like, especially in the area of vision coverage, there are fewer providers that are going to be available under this new plan than they were under the existing plan. So what does that mean? It could mean some disruption of service for patients, employee patients. One of the things that we're going to do to try to help alleviate that some is to reach out to the new providers that we're going to be going with to say, look, this is the list of providers that we have under our current plan. We'd like you to send all of them a letter, contact them, and say there's an opportunity for you to fill out an application form so that you can get on the list of providers in this new plan. And we hope that will happen. There's no guarantee that it will, but we're going to try to see if we can do something to sort of nudge that along. We want our employees to have as many different options as we can possibly help to provide to them. So stay tuned. There may be more information in the coming weeks about that. Now, another item that was on the agenda that the Commission took action on yesterday was just a really long list of contracts. As you might imagine, Doña County contracts with a lot of individuals, a lot of companies, a lot of corporations, a lot of firms to provide all kinds of goods and supplies and services to the county. One of those categories are contracts that we have with other governments or other quasi-government entities. Now, what do I mean by quasi-government entities? The state law creates a number of different kinds of entities that cities and counties and the state then contract with or partner with for the provision of a variety of services. One of the entities created by state law are transit districts, and the one for this part of the state is the South Central Regional Transit District. One of the things that the transit district provides is bus service, and they have been trying to expand that bus service, which is actually fairly new, and principally is designed to move people from the southern part of the county to the northern part of the county. They even have one route under a grant that they receive from the city of El Paso, which takes people from southern New Mexico into El Paso and back. A large number of residents showed up at a commission meeting when that was initially approved, saying that they supported the idea of creating bus service, and because they didn't have cars, really needed to have bus service. Well, one of the contracts that was not approved yesterday was the contract with the transit district. We don't yet know whether or not us not renewing that contract will have an immediate impact on bus service. It's very possible that in the not too distant future, they may have to discontinue that bus service. I'm sure there will be more information in the media, on the county's website, at commission meetings, and various other venues in the coming weeks about that. If you are someone who has been relying on the bus service, you certainly will want to pay attention to what developments are happening with that. And then probably the biggest item on the agenda, for which there were a lot of residents and businesses that came in to provide their comments, their input, and their concerns, either support for or opposition to an amendment of the county's fireworks ordinance. The current ordinance has a list of prohibited fireworks, those that have more gunpowder, more explosive power, those that are aerial fireworks, those that, because they're more powerful, travel further distance or have more ability to injure someone. And because we are in an area where there typically is not a lot of rain, sometimes have the potential to cause more fires if people are not careful as they are setting them off. All of the items that are on the list of prohibited things are still on the list. That part of the ordinance was not changed. For all of the discussion and all of the debate back and forth, really the only part of the ordinance which was changed is to allow specialty retailers selling fireworks to be able to sell some of those more powerful fireworks. Now, people were concerned that in the unincorporated areas of the county, you're prohibited from selling those kinds of fireworks. It's against the law to actually set off those kinds of fireworks in most parts of the county. Well, the change in the ordinance says that these specialty retailers can now sell these items, but they can only sell them to people who don't live in Doña County. And you may be asking yourself right about now, well, what's a specialty retailer? Well, according to the ordinance, a specialty retailer is a person, a firm, or a corporation purchasing permissible fireworks for year-round resale in permanent retail stores whose primary business is tourism. So in the discussion, it appears that part of the rationale in making the change to the ordinance is to try to capture those tourist dollars, people who may be driving through on the way to someplace else during the time when fireworks are being sold and wanting to get them. Now, a key part of the definition of specialty retailer is those who are selling from permanent retail stores. Now that means all of the little temporary fireworks stands that pop up just around the 4th of July or thereabouts would not qualify to sell these kinds of fireworks. So we'll see with the passage of time and when the ordinance actually becomes effective 30 days from yesterday, what actually takes place when people are purchasing these and attempting to use them. If people follow what the law says, then you won't see anything different happening. There won't be more fireworks that a lot of people and their pets find scary with louder noises happening in parts of the county where that's prohibited, because the whole idea is that these are people who are passing through, tourists, and if we can get them to stop for a minute and spend some of their dollars here before they travel on down the road, then certainly that's something that benefits all of us. So we'll see you next time. let us know if you've got questions. Thank you.